Yeah.
Because we're going to actually sample these, but...
Yeah,
all right.
these
We are recording.
All right, so give me a...
So, I'm going to do this. Hold on. Okay.
Oh. Okay.
I just
All
dumped,
right.
I just dumped Jim and Jack in my eyes now.
Yeah, you don't want to pour that shit. It'll
That would
dissolve
not
our
be
eyes
bueno.
instantly.
Woo!
Let's go.
Here we go. Welcome everybody to another episode. This is the movie side of
This
things.
movie,
Yes.
brackets.
But you go.
Midnight Movie Distillery. I was interrupted.
So professional.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Who are you?
I am Logan Lynch. I do this podcast every once in a while. If anybody hasn't seen this, you better watch
You
it
got
because
a
it's
fan
awesome.
base. Who are you kidding? You
I
got a
have no
fan base.
Yeah. That's the only fan I have.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like you.
Yeah.
Well, I do declare.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm my own fan. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm having palpitations.
I'm one of the hosts. We also have two other people here.
I'm another one of the hosts, Warwick Price.
I'm Lon Black, and we're doing brackets.
Movie brackets.
Movie brackets. And what are the movies we got on the
So the movies
docket?
tonight are
This is
The Thing and The Shining.
Oh,
a lot of ings.
Well, at the point that we have like two those, do we just say Thing and Shining?
fudge.
We could
We could.
For editing's sake.
For editing's
Yeah,
sake, just make it
sure.
quicker.
save
easier.
that
Just
millisecond of time.
This, I have been thinking about this.
This is big. This is
You've been
big.
thinking about this?
And,
Just kidding.
no,
And he's been in the bathroom shining it out.
I was going to say, I think my thing has been shining.
I was just cleaning it and it went off. Anyway,
I don't know what to do about it.
this is a tough one. We've gone. It's made both of these movies have made it through some really tough
Pairings, yeah.
brackets.
You want to show the brackets?
Yeah, we should
Yeah,
probably
we're
show
looking
just
at?
so that people know.
So,
So
on the
this is
right.
what our brackets. We've worked our way down. So if this is your first time seeing this episode, please go back, watch
Where
the
have you
others.
been?
Yeah. Where have you been? Now join us, like, comment, subscribe. I'll just throw that out there. But yeah, we're down now to the. This is the final four.
Semi-finals they
I
call
say
it.
final four. I'm NCAA. Anywho, but
But yes, so like the Thing, like the previous matching against American Werewolf in London, that was a tough. That was a tough one.
That was tough. I still look back at that and go, really?
I still don't think it's as tough
Really?
as this one. This is
No,
No.
agreed.
the
'cause
Thing
it's a
where
little
versus
tougher.
Shining.
Well, so the only thing I would say about this particular pairing
Notice
is
he keeps saying Thing. Shining doesn't come in. Anyway.
the other thing I would say
Well,
about
we go back to us.
this particular pairing is in a similar vein to The Shining versus A Nightmare on Elm Street. They're two totally different types of movie. You know, in terms of like one is a popcorn movie.
Agreed.
It's you can watch
A
it
slasher.
any time. Yeah, it's a classic horror slasher.
Right.
And you know, for that pairing against the Shining, I think part of the reason why the Shining won out was because, you know, as we said in that episode, it was better filmed, you know, better acting, better story. You know, the cinematography in it was just like, just beautiful on it. And again, not to knock on A Nightmare on Elm Street, but that's not what it was trying to be.
No.
So
Correct.
I think if the
That
Thing
made it difficult to figure them out, though.
Right. I think if The Thing and Nightmare on Elm Street were paired together, we would have two movies that were a lot closer together. I still personally would have picked The Thing because I do still think it is a better movie between those two.
Oh, I agree 100%. I think the two movies that are in this bracket right now deserve to be
100%.
there. Looking at all the movies, American Werewolf in London is the only other one that I thought, maybe that should have been in there. But
Yeah.
honestly, and I believe I think I. No, you
didn't
picked
want
American
you
Werewolf
didn't want
in London.
Twilight Zone to move on.
No. Because it's not a horror movie.
It is.
But this is a matchup between two juggernauts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
So this is very, very tough.
and fun. It's going to be fun.
Okay, well, I think to this point, though, so we just did our whiskey matchups, too. Jack Daniels and Jim Beam Black label. And they but honestly, when we
Really good
kind of
try.
polished them off and we're doing the movie review, we all went to the backlog of about 78
We're
bottles.
going to say we're cleansing the palate.
Yeah.
We are
So
cleansing
what are
the
you
palate.
going with, guys?
I'm going to go with the Larceny Small Batch.
I'm going to go Whiskey Acres just because
I'm
it's been a
gonna go
little while
Whiskey
since I've
Acres,
had
too.
it.
Because
And that's Whiskey Acres, what do we got?
the straight bourbon.
Straight bourbon. And then
By the way, this-
Larceny is small batch.
It's a small batch, and this is a wheated bourbon.
Is it? Are you? We should ask Mr. Weeded Master.
Oh. Would that be John or myself?
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we
clearly-
should call him
clearly not
John.
Lon.
Let's go. Yeah, John
Because
versus
this
Lon.
Whiskey Acres, not everybody might be able to get this out where you are. This is an Illinois brand, literally half an hour from our house.
Not
here.
bragging at all.
So, but well, that's just it. Some people might like, wow, I've never seen that before.
Wait, you didn't even do the pop.
Oh, I didn't do the pop.
I did
Did you?
on my last thing.
Beastie Boys known to let the beat.
But larceny is one of those. So Whiskey Acres is $30, I think.
I want to say it's
Whiskey
30.
Acres.
This is 25.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're just mixing things because I'm literally calling it cleansing the palate. Just
By the way, I just noticed this.
let you notice.
So on the front of the bottle, there is a cutout for a key it's like a keyhole.
Right.
Okay.
And when you look through the keyhole, there's a key in the back.
In the back label. Wow. This is the whole thing. Okay, we'll go over
there's-
larceny another time.
And there's small writing on that, so we could say to tie it into The Shining. Does that say all work and no play by chance?
Little bit of stretch there.
Yeah,
but
trying.
because
you know
that's
what?
not actually what it says.
I like
know.
where you're going with that. Okay,
Anyway.
so back to the movies. So we've talked about these movies ad infinitum. We've beat them to death. We've loved both of them. What do you think is a talking point between these two as a matchup? Not anything specific to the movie.
Sure.
Comparing them to each other. What
Well-
would you use to compare them?
So that's what I think makes this a very tough decision for these, is because you've got The Thing, which is roughly 2 hours and 10 minutes.
It is a long.
You've got The Shining, which is two and a
That's almost-
half.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I think so.
same almost.
So they're fairly close in length.
Yeah. Giggity.
I think every some shorter than the other. No, but the nice thing about both movies is they both utilize that you need every minute of each of those movies, right? And every scene of a Stanley Kubrick film, there's meaning and everything. And then you have kind of the opposite side of the spectrum, which is Carpenter. Every scene has meaning to the film, right? And I think that makes it even harder. Usually I'm the type where it's like, hey, if the movie's, an hour and 30 minutes, that's the sweet spot for me, but especially with horror. But I think you need both of these movies to be this length. And we should be talking about deciding factors, but this was something
Yeah,
that
that's
I'm
a
like, I can't.
comparison that makes them equal again.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so I'll do the same thing.
Okay.
So here's
Since the last one worked out so well, let's do it more.
Son of a
So
bitch.
here's the other thing that I think is interesting, which we definitely called out on for The Thing, is the amazing thing about The Thing being set in Antarctic, Arctic,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck which one it
One
is.
of the
Cold.
It
It's cold.
Is that whole thing of, in a normal classical horror movie, often people are going to go, well, you could just run away.
Yeah, it does pull that.
But
away
in The
from
Thing, it's like you can't run away because it's fucking freezing
Neither
outside.
one of these you can run
and
away.
that's what I mean. So in other words, and The Shining has the same issue. It's like you are trapped there. That there's nothing, there's nowhere for you to go, especially when you destroy the vehicle that gets you off the
Correct.
mountain.
In both of them, that
Both of
happens.
them.
Right, that's
Yeah.
very true.
The only escape.
Seeing a lot of similarities here.
So let's analyze story. Like
Okay.
story, I would 100% agree with Logan here. It's I don't think there's wasted time in either of these movies. I think there are definitely people that who are not Kubrick fans that could look at The Shining and go, it definitely has longer expanses in the same scene, longer expanses of seeming like nothingness. But yes, that is a Kubrick trope. It's like that's kind of how he does his. That is how he does his movies. Like I think John Carpenter, because he's never. In the middle of his life, I think he probably did have a little bit more say with budget, but like he's never been someone who's had like massive budgets and therefore can just like wallow along, like it's like every single minute of every single scene has to mean something because it's costing him money. And I think that's why most of Carpenter's films have like good pacing to them, is because it's like we've got to get the story told.
Do we know if is that his biggest budget at that time?
For The Thing?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually his biggest budgets.
Out of all of them, probably. Well, I mean, obviously the newer stuff that he had
Only
done,
because
probably.
of inflation, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably his biggest budget. I want to say it was like 13 million or something.
I feel like 20 for some reason, but could be off. But either way, yeah, this is hard to just. We're obviously every time we try to compare something, it's like nope, there's a similarity, right? And I think that the biggest trying to find a difference is hard, other than the director's perspective, right?
Right, and style. I mean,
yeah.
You know, I mean, okay, so I'll go out on a limb here on the story side.
Ooh, he's going.
I think the story in The Thing is better than the story in The Shining.
Okay.
And I think under the phrase better, I will include more enjoyable.
Okay.
You know, it's like, yes, I'm sure classically, I don't know who the actual original writer was of The Thing, because obviously it was based on
A novella, yeah.
You don't know who wrote The Thing? Oh, The Thing. Who wrote the original? Okay,
Right.
No, I'm
yeah, no,
going somewhere
that
else
would
with
be called The Shining. Yes, I've seen you. I
If
knew,
you didn't know Stephen King, I thought.
I knew
What?
I knew Stephen King wrote. So,
Okay.
but that's what
All
I mean. So in other words, it's like, you know, it's. I think Stephen King, The Shining came out at like the prime of his like writing prowess, and the book is friggin' amazing. But I still think, in terms of an enjoyable story, I think the story that's in the movie of The Thing is better than the story that's in The Shining.
Okay.
My take.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go next.
All right.
This is where you go. You're wrong, but okay.
Yeah.
No. So looking up, I couldn't find.
Budget
which
for The
one
Thing was 15 million.
Right, but I
15.
couldn't say if that was his highest budget
Oh.
movie.
Gotcha.
But it is considered, when I was looking those up, it was considered his masterpiece movie.
Which it did bomb in the box office when it first came out, right?
Well,
it didn't.
so did Shining.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
the difference here is,
God, there's so many similarities.
I know, but here's a big difference to me. The Shining confused the shit out of most people.
Mm-hmm.
The Shining had some elements of scare, the creepiness, the woman in the bathtub, but a lot of confusion. The guy with the beaver costume on, and
It was a bear, but
bear. Nobody knows what nobody.
The
knows
people
what
that
to
read
do
the
with
book
that.
know that, but
Well, but here's the thing: is not everything from that book made it to the movie, and vice
Correct.
versa. I should say the other thing. There were things in the movie that weren't in the book.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking the ending. Obviously, the ending was way different. But it was a slow, methodic burn with eerie, creepy tones and pacing, and so much hidden in every scene that not
Right.
everybody got it. In fact, really to this day, there is not a single person who understands the entire movie.
I saw you watch the documentary.
I did watch the documentary, and let me tell you, some of those theories were straight up bullshit.
Oh, I don't disagree.
but it's funny to watch,
It
right?
is, and some of them you're like, okay.
You catch yourself
maybe.
going, maybe no,
Yeah.
come on, no, I
And
can't.
then they finish it up with, well, and then
He's
they finish
referring
it up
to
with things
room
like,
237, by the way.
then they finish it up with somebody going like, oh wait, my kid's crying, hang on, and then you got to wait while they go take care of their kid crying on the interview. I'm like, and it bugged me that they used different shots for things that didn't relate to the movie. But anyway, that's the documentary. Not even a documentary, right?
Yeah,
It's a
documentary.
documentary.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they
Yeah,
consider it.
I mean, it's not an official documentary. It's a kind of a fan.
Yeah,
Thing,
right.
you
It's
know.
fan
Can't
speculation.
call it fan fiction though. 'cause
No, it's not fiction. I mean, and it was,
Yeah.
and they did talk to real people.
Yep.
Obviously, I mean, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it wasn't all made up.
But that made it confusing for a lot of people. That's why it crashed at the box office. And I know some of the people, even in that documentary or whatever, were like, I hated it the first 6 times I saw it. Well, why'd you watch it 6 times
Yeah,
then?
no.
And then on the 7th time, magic woke my eyes, and I understood that the cans of Calumet baking soda were facing the left instead
Yep.
of right. You know, and were they there for a reason? Yeah. I mean, everything in Kubrick's films were there for a reason.
Yep.
But
But
this
sometimes they were just to fill out a store closet that was supposed to have food in it.
maybe. But if you got your choice of any food in the world,
Yeah,
would
what
you
would you
put
choose?
baking soda? I mean, I get it. It's possible, but I know we've had classes on Kubrick, and Kubrick literally was just an obsessive compulsive
Sure.
weirdo.
Oh, totally.
He would go and straighten out the direction of a pencil on a desk if it didn't fit the scene he wanted. But that doesn't make it a great movie.
Okay.
Right. Alone.
Right. I was going to say, it is a great movie. To me, I love this movie, but I don't understand everything in it. So, but now, okay, so conversely, The Thing was action-packed. When they did something like, when they were testing everybody's blood, because they found out electricity would shock the blood and cause pain.
Well, it was heat, wasn't it?
Was it the heat?
Yes.
But whatever, the point, oh, that's right, because that's why the flame
Yeah.
But when they used the wire, the hot wire, to do that, that made perfect sense. You understood what they were doing. They didn't need to explain it further. They just said, I think it has heat. I bet if we take the blood and put it in, we're going to get a reaction. And
Right.
you got it.
Yeah.
There was nothing super hidden in a lot of that.
Yeah.
There were some little subtext things going on, of course.
Yeah, I think I liked how they did play up the tension on that, because you kept thinking like, that person's got to be, and then boom, no, they're
Well,
not,
that was
you
a
know.
whodunit
Yeah.
angle to
Yeah,
that whole
they-
thing. It was like,
it became kind of almost
who's the killer?
a crime.
and the thing
drama
is,
at
it
that
could be
point.
multiple people.
Yeah.
And it could be you. And it could, that made it really tense.
I think the other thing that's interesting about the thing, now we're talking about it, is in reality, you don't really know what
good stuff.
the thing is. Do you?
Correct.
Because it's like, even when you go back to either the 1956 version or the prequel, it was a creature that was stored in ice.
Yes.
However, the very fact that the blood thing works, I know it's a movie, tells you that it's an organism more than it is like a creature. So in other words, it's something that gets inside.
Oh, I disagree with that. I think the reason I disagree with that is because when
But it doesn't clone the person.
it does clone the person. It pretty much makes
So-
an exact replica of it, including language, speech, understanding. So if it can
It's-
act as a person, and you don't know who's the thing, because everybody can talk normal,
Yeah.
everybody acts normal.
I think what Warwick's getting at, though, is it probably started off kind of as humans probably did, as an organism, and evolved into so there's the novella, and then they actually just found some manuscripts that the person wrote, and they actually describe what the thing looks like. And it kind of looks like, if you think about like an octopus with and it's blue colored and all this stuff, and I can show you the pictures.
And that's when they find it in the ice, right? Because that's the only time it's
That's
not
the
interacting with human form.
Correct. I believe that's what they find in the ice. Now, granted, that's not described in the latest in the actual novella that he ended up printing out. I guess the guy that stumbled upon this was just looking for stuff on the original novella, and then somehow they had this at like California and like Berkeley or something, and they found this, and it's like, holy shit, the guy stumbled upon it. And it gets a little more descriptive in that about what the thing is and what it looks like. But yeah, so to me, I feel like it's kind of like if we've got things all over us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody touched us, and maybe there's something on us that could rub off onto them.
Giggity.
I was waiting for it. I'm like, man, he's like looking intently at me. I'm like, oh, was he waiting
I was
for
trying
me
to
to say
wait for
it?
something like Catholic priest joke.
Yeah, there you go. But then I feel like that could happen. Something on us could evolve into something, some
Sure.
parasite or something like that. So I kind of think that's what happened. Is it's part of the DNA from the thing itself, but it knows to evolve itself no matter what. So it evolved itself to that point. So it's been around for thousands of years, or however 20,000 or whatever, how long they say. So it's gotten to that point where now, I like this form, I'm going to stick with this, but if in a pinch, I'm going to grab onto whatever I can. Right?
Right.
Like, that's how I took that.
Right, because it seems like it's an unintelligent creature in the fact that it's more animal instinct.
It's just
kind
trying
of
to
It's just trying to
survive.
survive.
Because it's
Yeah.
just trying to, but I think it's way more intelligent than that. Because it flew a ship. It navigated
And it
a
knows
ship.
how to make that ship in its other forms, right? Like
Correct.
it's
build it.
maintaining. Like that's what I was
It
kind
knows
of.
interstellar travel.
Yeah, I was stunned by the fact that it can retain
point.
all of that in such a small form
Yep.
and move on to the
As
next.
we learned from like Star Trek First Contact, it's like that's the major step of intelligence.
You have to know how to fly a plane. All right, so I think I've made my decision.
All right. Do you want to hold off until the ending? Or?
No, I mean,
I've
this
made my
is the
decision.
ending, isn't it?
This is the ending.
Okay.
We're 20
I'll
minutes
let you,
in, man.
All right, I'll let you guys go first, and then
All right.
I've kind of said my piece along the way. So.
I did. So I love both these movies. I know we're all going to say that. I love both these movies, but the more we
I don't
talk
know why we
about
say it high pitched, but go ahead.
I think because one of these movies had too much subtext, and the other one was way more understandable and therefore more enjoyable from the start.
Yep.
That you don't have to watch it 13 times to get any other message.
Yep.
The Thing is a better movie. I'm going with The Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, like, you know, I said it when describing, like, you know, picking on the story, but in reality, I think that is the main part. It's The Thing has I think it has a better story. I think it has a better story, certainly in the context of what these brackets are supposed to be, which is like, you know, what's the best horror movie of the 80s? And whilst I think, you know, The Shining is a phenomenal movie, in every aspect, pitted up against The Thing, I think The Thing has to be the winner.
Mr. Lynch.
So I'm going to give away a real quick. One of the movies I'm going to pick ends in ing. That doesn't
And
help.
starts
starts
in
with a
the.
the.
It starts with a yes. And there's an H in there. How about that?
That's the second letter.
So
of
there you
that.
go. And an I. Anyway, so no, I agree with every point that you guys have made. And this is still a super hard because I love The Thing, but I do love The Shining. To the point where I'm watching documentaries about it. I'm watching, extended cuts and
Of which
behind the
one?
scenes of The Shining.
Okay. Is that because you were confused? And
No,
wanted to find
so
out
here's the
story?
thing. The Shining, if you look at it, when you watch it from the perspective of just watching the movie, it's, a simple plot. Somebody goes insane, gets cabin fever, and tries to kill their family. I get that, right?
Everyday tale.
Right.
Yeah,
Normal
happens
stuff.
all the time.
Normal stuff.
But then you've got The Thing, which is these people are trapped as well, and that's in The Shining as well. But I feel like, there's still, that's another similarity is between the two. You've got, obviously there's only 3 people in the cabin, but now you've got 8 people in the Antarctic, 8, maybe 9, and a dog. And
Several dogs.
I feel like, you still have the similarities going there where it's like, okay, who done it?
Yep.
Obviously, there's only 3
who's
people
it?
here. Well, there's 3 people in the cabin, and the boy shows up with bruises on his face and a torn shirt. And you didn't do it, right? Like, so, okay, the other thing, too, with the dog, it's like, okay, well, now who's with the dog? But I love The Shining. I've read the book, Dr. Sleep as well. I've read that. I
Love
feel
Dr.
like
Sleep. See, that's one of those movies
yeah.
I think, I didn't mean to interrupt you. That's one of those movies that helps explain The Shining. a little
100%.
more.
Sure.
So that's a good follow-up movie if you're looking for explanation for
Correct.
that. And it's really a well-done
Yeah,
movie, too.
yeah.
So,
The
I'm
2
sorry.
movies behind back to back though is going to be
Right.
probably 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
So
yeah, wow.
easily. But yeah, I as much as I love The Shining, and I've watched it probably 20, 30 times, I'm gonna go with The Thing as well. The Thing is just one of those movies where you can put it on, you can start it at any point. You already know where, and you just watch it. Like,
But you understand it.
yeah,
You
right.
know what's going on, and you get the suspense.
Even if I don't, and I like the thinker movies, whatever you want to call them.
Right.
That The Shining is great for that, but you got to be in a certain kind of mood, and that's where if you come in halfway through, you get the feeling, like, okay, but you still, that's a movie you got to watch from start to finish, and if you've got 2.5 hours, it's not okay. But whereas, like, The Thing, if it's on TV and you can have that on playing in the background.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I think we're all saying the same thing. But I mean, I think it's one of these things where The Thing has. I'm sure people are going to correct me, but The Thing.
Please
Please correct me. Please stop me.
comment.
we think we're right all the time. Otherwise,
The Thing has like virtually no faults. Like, it's like, I don't know that there's...
I do disagree on that one.
Really?
Just the only part that I still kind of cringe is when.
Oh, we talk about, like, I think the ending is a little bit...
Well,
like,
no. When the
abrupt.
guy, oh God, I can't remember his name. He had the darker glasses on. He was the radio guy. When he gets, and he's holding, and he's kind of swinging around. It looked kind of
Yeah, he
fake.
wasn't the best actor.
Well, no, it was the scene where he gets sucked into the guy, like his head opens up and then grabs the other guy, and then he's kind of swinging him around, and you can see his feet sliding. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
you know that's not real. That part I still kind of cringe at, but everything else, effects-wise, was phenomenal. But that part, I'm like, I kind of wish
But
they
I
would
don't
have
think
used
that
something.
I don't think that deterred you. Like, and again, not that there's anything like bad about The Shining, but like I'll keep to what I said before, which is there are parts that are they are interstitial to a point of like, really, are we really spending like 10 minutes walking through the storeroom? Just it's like it was a needless.
Yeah.
There was nothing other than the fact that gave fuck, my brain. I mean, Crothers and the kid a chance for them to talk and for to say it's like you feel it, right, so
Well, I felt that was a little creepy too when he's like, he looks over, I'm like, Jesus, all right, yeah, like. Yes. I could tell you can shine too.
I like to bring my little kids into this room.
Yeah.
It's all quiet in here.
It's like Danny's like, no, anyway.
Anyway, right, shall we show our brackets?
Yes.
So let's show the brackets. So this is seriously, I mean,
but
it's
honestly,
for the differences in the movies, the similarities in,
we were all unanimous on this one, though.
Yeah. This was a unanimous decision.
So I think.
And I'm a huge fan of The Shining. So.
Right.
Oh, I love it.
But I love the thing.
But
well,
the thing wins, man. So next bracket is going to be Aliens versus Reanimator.
Ooh.
There's going to be some fighting.
Oh.
All right.
I think there's going to be some discussions.
Discussions?
Well, that's what he means by fight.
Can we fight?
That's what we should do.
Fight.
Put little boxing gloves on. Yeah.
We'll do like thumb wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Thumb wars.
Yeah.
To see who wins.
What was the song?
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare thumb war.
There you go, that one.
The
it was a simple song.
So I was like waiting for you to be like, no, the English version was
No.
The English one. Your penis, my penis. We all battle for penises.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
It's called a Dutch rudder. Anyway. All right.
Sloppy H. Are we
All
good?
right.
What's
Yeah,
a
that's
ZJ?
it, man. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Awesome.
Like, comment, subscribe.
eh,
I say that all the
I
time.
know, it's
and
cool.
I
We'll just
ruin
say
it.
it twice. No, that's cool. See, you ruined another one.
I know.
You ruined another
I
take.
tried.
God.
Not to, but
He's
it's
so trying.
Bless him, man.
I just want everybody's opinion.
Thanks. If you want to follow up with this one, we're going to do a next episode will be a finishing the bottle where we're going to beat the shit out of these two movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come join us.
Bye.